Hello everyone, Triple S back here with some more Sakura Spirit. You can remember last time a lot of crazy shit went down in the case of one of the girls who I can't remember the name of because I'm terrible with names. She fell, Fox Spirit, she fell in the water, nearly drowned. We pulled her out. She started hitting one of the main character, and he was about to unbutton her shirt because it was wet, she would catch a cold, but then he got whacked on the head, knocked unconscious, and when he woke up, he was in bed with the fox girl and they were both naked, and Maiko, the other fox girl, was very adamant about wanting to see him naked. So, yeah. So a lot of sexual stuff happened last episode. Let's see how much happens this episode. So, as Maiko led me towards the garden of the impressive mansion, she seemed a little quiet, as though she had something on her mind. I wanted to ask her about it, but something about the way her ears sagged and her tail hung low told me that probably wasn't the best idea. I decided I would simply try to cheer her up. So, which do you prefer, Maiko-chan? Apples, grapes, or oranges? We could gather all three, but I bet we can grab a few for ourselves first. Apples, I guess? I knew a fox spirit once, a friend of Oni-sama, who loved apples. Can't remember her name though. I guess my head's a bit hollow. Apples are awesome. Crunchy on the outside and sweet on the inside. And your head isn't hollow, silly. If that was true, I think I'd still be stuck in that jail cell. Oni-sama did most of the thinking though. I just sort of went along with what she said. Well, someone has to take the lead. Besides, I'm still grateful for your help all the same. How about... I playfully flicked Michael's forehead with a grin. See? Doesn't sound hollow at all. I'm sure there's plenty of clever thoughts in that little head of yours. Pretty little head of yours. Ow! Meanie. Now you know I'm right at least. Anyway, let's get those apples, shall we? Okay, I'll get them. You can grab that basket over there. Alright, let's get down to business. Feeling hyped, I went to grab one of the baskets stacked nearby and returned to Maiko, who had started climbing one of the trees. The girl was accustomed to climbing, but her small hands had me a bit worried. Hanging from the branch with just her legs, she checked to see if the apples were ripe. Maiko-chan, be careful, you might slip. Ow! The girl had thrown an apple at me, and while my reflexes let me catch it with ease, the force behind it still stung my palm a little. Of course, I did exaggerate a bit for the girl. Haha, I'll be fine, Taka-kun. I've been climbing these trees all my life. Even the most experienced climbers end up running into trouble if they aren't careful. I smiled weakly at the girl's excited attitude, placing the apple I caught into the basket. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm a fox spirit. I won't fall. I'm super careful. Watch, I'll grab the apples near the top. Wait, Maiko-chan, unless you can fly, I don't think you should go for those. Fly? I can't do that, silly. Taka-kun. Forget that there was a space there, I read it wrong, I thought it was still a comma. Who has ever heard of flying fox spirit? Ah! As expected, the moment Maiko tried to reach for one of the apples near the top of the tree, the girl ended up losing her footing and tumbled down towards the ground with a loud cry. Maiko! My reflexes quickly kicked themselves into gear, trying to catch the girl before she hit the ground. Unfortunately, I didn't notice the apples skirting around the tree, and as a result, I ended up tripping over them. I managed another few steps and was able to catch Maiko before I dropped to the ground. My head was throbbing once I had recovered from the fall. I tried to sit up, but found myself held down by a small but substantial weight. Boobs! Pardon me. Opening my eyes, I looked up to see Maiko sitting on my lap. Owie! I guess I tried to reach a bit too far. Thank you, Takahiro. You saved me. You gave me a soft, well, kind of soft and kind of hard landing. Sorry, I'm just gonna process how I said that then. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. Maiko-chan, do you mind? You're crushing me. Wow! Oh my gosh, Takahiro, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. As the younger girl grew increasingly flustered, I knew I had to calm her down. Gently, I tilted my legs beneath her as she toppled forwards, her head resting against my chest. I guess we've learned that fox spirits can be pretty clumsy. Or maybe that Maiko is even cuter up close than I thought. But, well, Takahiro, I think you're mistaking me for Oni-sama. Nope, I'm talking about you. You have that innocent side to you that's really charming. I wouldn't be surprised if lots of people from the village would want to claim you as their adorable little sister once we've cleared up those misunderstandings. I'd be happy to call you my brother, Takahiro, but also people in that village are super mean. I just want to spend time with you and Oni-sama. But brother? How about darling? Darling? I don't know if I'm ready for that. Really? I think we'd be a cute couple. A hero and a fox spirit, living happily ever after. Your sister could stay too. We could raise a little family. I mean, we already have a house, so we wouldn't have to worry about that. And any guy from my world would kill to have a pretty wife like you. I held back a chuckle, knowing all too well that my teasing was taking effect, and yet I was also happy to see her spirits seemingly lifted. Thank you, Taka-ni. I think Taka-kun would be better. Michiko-san probably wouldn't like another sibling, but I'm glad you cheered up. You didn't seem too happy earlier. The way your tail and ears were hanging low reminded me of a scalded puppy. Huh? Oh, right. I was just thinking is all. You know about that spell I wanted to try? The one that needs the silky wedding undies? Wedding sash. It's kind of like a belt that the bride wears during the wedding ceremony. I doubt any spell involving panties would be a good idea to cast. Oh, I thought it was like wedding undies that you wear on your wedding night. Anyway, the spell, I don't know why, but I've wanted to try it for a little while now. And well, it's a gate spell. Not like those temporary ones, those are easy to make. A permanent one, like a portal to a different place. To a different place. So she's the one who's going to allow us to get back home then. She can open a gate back to our world. It sounds like, anyway. Building up so much. It sounds kind of interesting. I don't know why I put kind of in there. Are you sure it's safe? Silly Taka-ni, that's not the point. This spell, it might be able to help you. Oh yeah, there we go. Well, that's good and all. I prefer not ending up in the middle of the sea or a live volcano. I think we should be a bit more careful with your magic. I'm a good mage. That's what Harry said when he told Atlantis his solution to their water shortage. Huh? What's Atlantis? A city with high ambitions sunk into the deep due to poor management. Anyway, I think it's best we get an expert's opinion before we try anything. We're going to visit this Susuyuri anyway, so maybe she'll be able to tell us if your spell will get me home. Wah! But Sue-chan told me I shouldn't use magic at all. She said it was only for her to use or something. Huh. Maybe she had a reason for saying that? Like, maybe, I don't know, do spells have side effects? You just like Oni-sama. She forbid me too, but I showed her that spells could be helpful and that I can control them, so she let me do more research. I'm not going to throw spells around like they're nothing. I'm not a dumb little kid. I'm not going to do anything. Besides, you seem old enough to take care of yourself. Not that I know how old someone like you might be, but beware of the dark side of magic. In most stories, magic usually comes with a price. Like, what would you do if magic gave you a terrible tummy ache, or headaches, or worse, diarrhea? Then you'd better prepare a gate spell to the nearest bathroom. I do get headaches, but those aren't really all that big of a deal. And I get to do a lot of things for Oni-sama. I'm not going to change that, ever, so there. I already said I wasn't going to make you do anything. However, what you do need to change is the fact that you're straddling me, and you're rather close. So I'd appreciate it if you could get off. Ah, but you're so warm and soft. I could just curl up and sleep on you. Wait, don't go following the creep on me. Just kidding. I want to do something like that out here. Maybe tonight though. It's only fair as it's the only time I got to do it. But more importantly, dessert. We need to get back inside. Oni-sama is probably wondering what's taking so long. I couldn't really argue with the girl's impeccable logic. With a smile, I helped the girl to her feet and gathered a few fallen apples into the basket. We returned to Michiko and then did our dessert together. It wasn't too long after that that Michael started to feel sleepy, so Michiko took her to bed, wishing me a good night. The next morning. I awoke the The next morning, the sun filtering in through the wooden blinds, yawning loudly. The girls had very graciously given me an entire room to myself, and it was certainly a lot bigger than my room back home. It was still recording. I thought it stopped then. It was still early in the morning, likely a bit before breakfast. I decided to spend a short moment to gather my thoughts. It was clear that in order to learn more about my situation, I would need to pay a visit to the shrine. Maybe I could even find the answers to some other questions that have been lingering in the back of my mind for a while now. The fact that Machiko seemed surprisingly nervous at the mention of Sayori's name made me wonder about their relationship. What could possibly have happened to make Machiko react like that? The apparent hostility between the villagers and the fox spirits was another issue altogether. Although together, okay. Of course, I couldn't forget about the fact that I need to find a way to get home as well. Just as I finished gathering my thoughts, Maiko's voice resounded from the downstairs. Takani, breakfast is ready. Could you go get Oni-sama? Sure, we'll be right there. I quickly made my way out of the room, finding myself within one of the corridors of the mansion. Once outside, it didn't take long for me to find Machiko wandering down the corridor, her lips curving into a smile when she saw me. No need to look for me, Taka-kun. Maiko's voice reached me loud and clear. Good morning, Machiko-san. Did you sleep well? It was a decent sleep, although perhaps a bit lonely, however. You seem to be getting along well with my little sister. Takani, was it? Perhaps I should consider you my rival in the quest for the heart of our dear Maiko-chan. Heh, she seems to like it. I guess I'll be stuck with that name for a while. Oh, is it not to your liking? Well, perhaps you would prefer Darling instead? Yet, you were watching us? Indeed. It was taking you both such a long time. I grew rather curious and snuck out. But I didn't see you at all. Well, I am a fox spirit. Hiding myself from humans is like playing hide and seek with a child. Then, why didn't you use your hiding skills to hide from the guards? Now you mention it, the thought never occurred to me. Well, it certainly was fun getting chased by them. Unfortunately, Maiko does not have the best control over her change. She's far too excitable and is unable to maintain the illusion. Yeah, missing a word. It is her one magical blind spot. I'm sure it wouldn't have been fun if the Sunder Tyrant had caught you both. That certainly would have been an unpleasant experience. Then again, I'm sure you would have ended up saving me, wouldn't you, Taka-kun? I noticed a subtle change in Machiko's voice as the sweet sugar-coated words caused my cheeks to flush red. I really wasn't any good at dealing with this girl's flirty attitude. Stepping backwards, I turned towards the stairs at the end of the corridor and replied in a hurried tone, Maiko-chan is waiting for us. And with that, I rushed towards the kitchen with Machiko giggling behind me as she followed. Ah, good morning, both of you. I fixed up some eggs and sauce for you. There are some oranges too. Ah, wonderful. Thank you, little one. You were getting better at this. To wake up knowing a pretty girl made my breakfast, it's good to be alive. Perhaps you would enjoy having one resting by your side as well? That's a bit overkill, especially considering the condition of said girl. I recalled the sight of Machiko sleeping yesterday and my cheeks immediately grew red. I quickly sat down at the table, trying to distract myself by changing the subject. So, thanks to you two, I learned a little about this world. How about I return the favour and talk about mine? You have anything you want to ask? Oh, yes, I want to know, what are the spirits like in your world? Ah, spirits you say? I thought about a question for a moment before I replied with a sheepish grin. Well, in my world, spirits only exist in folk tales. They appear in stories and certain religions even worship them. But it's not like we got them running around like they do in this world. Folk tales? Worship? Your world is strange, Taka-kun. Oh, that's kind of boring. What about your life? Are you a defender of your village? You said something about judo before. What is that? You mean judo? Well, in my world, people go to this place called school. It's basically a place of knowledge where you can learn a lot of things before you're considered an adult in our society. But in our world, the defenders are known as the police. They keep things peaceful and such. I'm just a student. I guess you could say that I'm studying to become a defender, not just of my village, but of my whole country. It was a bit exaggerated, but it felt kind of nice to call myself a defender. Hehe, that sounds weird. Is the police like the army or something, defending the whole nation? Your world is very strange, Taka-kun. I want to call it strange, Machiko-san. It's this world that's weird. But no, the police is like the guards in the village. We do have an actual army that defends the country though. Hee. Either way, your world sounds like fun. Especially if everyone's like you. Anyway, we... Oh no, oh dang it, these oranges all have worms in them. Ew. Oni-sama, did you forget to check them again? Oh, how terrible. I must have been overcome with fatigue and never gotten around to checking them properly. Boo! Big old lazy meanie. I'll just go and get some apples instead. As Michael went outside to grab some apples, my eyes drifted towards Machiko, who was observing me with a content smile, clearly pleased with something. Boobs. It is such a relief to see her in such a good mood. It's been a tough few months, I must admit. She has been upset that her magical skills have not been progressing as fast as they once did. We all have our ups and downs, especially when it comes to studying. I still remember how I used to dread exams. So little time for my judo. It made me rather sad at times. That does sound rather stressful. Tell me, Taka-kun, what is it that you study? I'm intrigued by this school notion. Well, my situation is a bit different from most. While I go to school like everyone else, I actually aim to become an athlete. To explain it in a way you'd understand, an athlete is someone who practices a certain sport, and those who are among the best end up representing their country. I have an upcoming tournament that will decide whether or not I will be able to represent my country in judo. I think I understand. Your focus is on your strength while still gathering knowledge to allow yourself a multitude of options. An interesting method. I should thank you. I guess you could say it like that, but why thank me? I believe that your sudden appearance in our world has had a lot to do with Michael's newfound joy. I can hear her singing. Something I have not heard in weeks. It warms my heart to hear her so overjoyed, and I believe it is because of you. Thank you, Taka-kun. I doubt that's the only reason, but you're welcome. I smiled bashfully at Machiko before continuing. Then again, I should also thank you busting my rear out of jail. I don't want to think about what I would have been doing if I was still in the cave of the Thunder Tyrant. Haha, you are most welcome, but please, do not be so hard on Mio-chan. There are many things here beyond her control. But perhaps it is out of her hands for now. I still wish to thank you, Taka-kun. I have been wondering how I might repay you for bringing such joy to Michael-chan. Repay me? For a moment my thoughts drifted towards a certain idea, but my cheeks quickly turned scarlet red at the thought. I couldn't ask something like that of her. I'm not sure I have anything in mind. I think this smile is enough. You're a true gentleman, Taka-kun. It's a shame though. I was thinking of such naughty things too. The fox spirit giggled to herself as she turned towards the garden, watching Michael struggle to descend from one of the trees with an armful of apples. Michael-chan, there are only 3 of us. Your ability does not count for a 4th person. Speaking of a 4th person, it sounded like you two used to talk a lot with the spirit at the shrine. Why do you get so nervous whenever this Tsuchieri is involved? Yeah, that's not important. Oh, is that a giant bird carrying the seed of the world tree? Oh, maybe it is. I should go and... Tsuchieri Dono, thank you for visiting us today. Michiko-san is right over there. Tsuchieri, no, I'm sorry. I've just been terribly busy. Please forgive me. Tsuchieri-sama. Whoa, do you think you get that flustered? Is she that amazing of a person? Yeah, you don't understand. It is complicated. There are certain skills that I, as a folk spirit, possess. A subtle way of talking or acting that influence how people perceive me. They are, I suppose they're considered social skills, but for spirits, Tsuchieri is capable of completely negating these, and it leaves me feeling rather nervous and helpless. I see, so basically she's immune to your flirting, and... Connecting the dots in my mind, I planted the palm of my hand against my forehead. Now I get it. You were afraid of approaching her because Tsuchieri is a bigger flirt than you. But if she's flirting with you... Oh, I see, you swing that way. For some reason, I suddenly felt rather disappointed. She's flirting with you too, man. There is a thing known as bisexuals. That's not true. But, well, maybe. I mean, she has an overpowering presence, and it does not allow for me to properly do my thing. I'm not sure what you mean by swinging, however. It means that, you know, like girls. Oh, really? Well, how about we forget all about Tsuchieri for now, and I'll show you exactly which way I do swing, Taka-kun. That won't be necessary. Which must be quite a challenge to deal with, considering. I briefly lowered my voice to a whisper. You're already a handful to deal with once you start your teasing. Yeah, perhaps that's the gentleman I thought you to be, Takakun. What am I then? A lovable rogue, perhaps? Or maybe you see yourself as more of a hero type? Of course I'm a hero. A perverted one, but a hero nonetheless. Nori-sama, Takani. Welcome back, Michael-chan. How did the hunt for the golden apple go? Hehe, no golden ones, but I got a lot of good ones. Even one that's shaped like a heart. You can have that one, Takani. An apple shaped like a heart. Interesting. Does this mean you're confessing your love to me by giving me this? Hehe, maybe I am. I seriously think Ichikawa would kill me if she saw me in my current situation. Why, thank you, fair lady. I shall savour every moment of its sweet flavour. Maiko, how could you betray your love of me, your one and only sister? Did I have time to give it mean nothing? Oh my. Hehehe, but I love you too, Oni-sama. I found a super big apple for you. Polygamy at its finest. Well, we better hurry up. We're going to go see Susan. Wait, what? I thought we would at least need to ask for her permission and wait until she grew bored enough to reply. I know, but when I was picking apples I found one of her tiny familiars. She said she wanted to see us today. Oh, poopy. Right, I'm going to end off here, but I'm going to keep recording for today. I've just been doing like one episode a day. It's kind of bad that I don't have like a backlog of things to upload. Especially when I'm going to start university, I'm going to need to start recording a lot to upload over times where I can't record. But that was a good episode. A lot more flirting. Michael landed on top of us. A lot of more close-up shots of boobs. And explained Earth to the Fox Spirits and how the world works with school and such. That was a good episode. So, I shall see you all next time for some more Sakura Spirit and see what else happens when we go see Sasayuri, Suchan, blah blah blah. See you all next time. Goodbye.